For the hundreds of millions of patients living with diabetes, the daily reality of their treatment involves metal needles and glass barrels. To survive, they have to inject themselves every single day. The largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, including Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, have spent decades and billions of dollars trying to turn those shots into a simple pill. Historically, they have failed. The barrier is biological. Injectable drugs are often made of macromolecules, complex, large protein structures. Drop one of these into the human stomach, and the acidic environment shreds them before they ever reach the bloodstream. Tomorrow, a South Korean firm named Samchundang Pharm steps onto a public stage to present the exact mechanism designed to bypass that biological barrier. The market has historically priced SPass as a laboratory-bound research project. This has resulted in a consistent valuation discount, as investors have waited for evidence of commercial viability. Institutional capital allocation follows a documented path to manufacturing and regulatory approval. Scientific proof is the baseline, but the move to investment depends on a mapped-out logistics and legal strategy. Tomorrow's IR represents the moment the company shifts its communication. It is a structural translation from the language of pure science into the language of global business development. This anatomical flowchart shows how oral delivery alters the drug's physiological performance. A standard injection spreads insulin systemically throughout the body. An SPass pill is absorbed in the gut and routes directly through the portal vein to the liver, mimicking the natural insulin pathway. The engineering challenge is scaling that payload. Insulin is roughly 6,000 Daltons, but the cancer drug Keytruda weighs 149,000 Daltons. Pushing an antibody that massive through the intestinal wall was a problem the industry viewed as unsolvable. Yet, recent animal trials for their oral immuno-oncology payload showed blood concentrations and duration levels that significantly surpassed traditional IV injections. For a massive incumbent pulling in billions from a blockbuster IV drug, a highly effective oral alternative forces a choice. They must either acquire the technology to expand their own market or keep it out of a rival's hands. This proves SPass is a universal delivery platform. Delivering a 149,000 Dalton protein means the company has the capability to challenge monopolies across multiple disease categories. This timeline graphic maps out their regulatory strategy for Tirzepatide, a key ingredient in weight loss drugs. They are utilizing the FDA's 505(b)(2) pathway. Because Tirzepatide is already proven safe in humans, the FDA allows them to reference existing clinical data, bypassing years of early-stage trials. That timeline compression drops their oral obesity pill into a market where global consumer demand is outstripping the current supply of injectables. Moving this fast usually burns through capital. It leads to the biotech valley of death, where promising firms run out of cash and must dilute their shareholders' equity just to fund operations. Samchundang avoids this trap through their Eylea biosimilar. This optical treatment is already generating high-margin revenue in international markets, providing the cash engine to fund the SPass platform without further dilution. In parallel, the company has consolidated its patent filings and resolved ownership overlaps across international borders. Independent cash flow allows them to negotiate from a position of strength. A clean intellectual property title means that when a global pharmaceutical partner begins due diligence, there are no ownership traps to stall the deal. Analysts are watching for a specific set of checkpoints: pharmacokinetic data for oral insulin, confirmation of the 505(b)(2) strategy, and validation of the IP title. Confirming these points proves the underlying mechanism. If the delivery system works for one protein, the addressable market expands to include almost every major injectable biological drug currently on the market. Validation alters the fundamental investor logic. Analysts move past the question of operational survival and begin modeling the probability and sequence of individual asset partnerships. Shifting from the question of solvency to the question of commercial sequence triggers a recalculation of the company's valuation multiplier. The structure is deliberate. SPass provides a universally adaptable delivery system, the Tirzepatide pipeline acts as a commercial catalyst, and the Eylea biosimilar provides the financial protection. A unique opportunity arises when a company finally learns how to translate its scientific value into the language of the financial world. This analysis is for educational and informational purposes only, and is not investment advice. All market decisions carry risk, so please consult a professional and review public filings. Hit subscribe and join us tomorrow for the post-presentation breakdown.